Hey guys, Delman here with another video for you. So we're going to continue the Aegis lineup here with the Retaliator bomber, a ship that has a special place in my heart. This was the first big ship I owned before I had to melt it. I hopefully will get one again in the future, but the Retaliator bomber will always remain special to me. I absolutely adore this ship, I love its history, which you are lucky enough and about to hear. So yeah, like it's got a really awesome history to it, and it's got a really interesting path of development too. So we're gonna follow the Retaliator bomber now, right from the very first moment it was concepted, all the way to the moment it was created, and when it was lore was put in and stuff. So yeah, let's jump right in and get started, because this is gonna be a long video. A millennium of memories, photos in flight, the top 500 iconic images from the last 1,000 years of traveling the stars. Hashtag 312, the bombing run, date 25/44/1001, photographer Renzo Ai. After the beginning of the Tabaran War, the United Times/Tribune decided to embed Renzo Ai with the 71st Carrier Wing to provide exclusive material on this historical conflict. For over 2 years, Renzo chronicled the successes and struggles, both personal and professional, of the naval carrier and its pilots, bringing the realities of frontline combat and military life to the public. For his award-winning series, Renzo would accompany the pilots of the 391st Squadron on torpedo runs against the Tavaran capital ships. But it was this image that became one of the most remembered. Captured during Operation Nemesis, the Retaliators of the 391st were tasked with a daring run on one of the Tavaran's devastating planetary defense systems that was keeping the UPE Navy at bay. This shot, taken remotely via Renzo's camera, captures the moment where Alpha Flight opened fire and has since been regarded as one of the most iconic images of the war. What makes the Retaliator cool? The Retaliator is one of Star Citizen's premier multi-crew fighting ships. While crewed ships are not uncommon in the verse, the larger options tend to be more orientated towards transport and exploration than fighting. The Retaliator is a fighter-bomber, covered in turrets and which carries a heavy bomb load, the perfect thing for striking at enemy bases and capital ships. It's also an extremely modular ship. The asset has been created with customization in mind. The entire hull segments can be swapped out. Players will eventually be able to replace their bomb bay with an entirely different configurations for different roles. Imagine swapping in some quarters or cargo area. Does the Retaliator include weapons? Yes, we're aware of long-running discussions on the matter and would like to be put to rest right now. The version of the Retaliator available for pledge today and previously includes the bomb bay and defensive turrets. The ship won't include pre-stock munitions in the bomb bay. It will be up to players to load their own ships in that regard. Where is the Retaliator in terms of development? The Retaliator was concepted by Ryan Church, who designed the constellation and has since been passed to Foundry 42 to implement in the CryEngine. The base ship is currently in the engine, and the team is working on subsystems such as turrets, which should be installed next week. Our goal is to launch the Retaliator in Arena Commander 2.0, which will be the earliest point in development that a large multi-crew ship will be fun to play. What inspired the Retaliator? The Retaliator's role was inspired by World War II strategic bombers like the B-17 Flying Fortress and the Lancaster. We envisioned a crew of players, or player MAPCs, operating the different crew positions and defensive turrets during bombing missions. The idea of civilians flying surplus bombers also came from the period of World War II, when the United States Army Air Force sold off B-17s that would be converted for everything from passenger flights to firefighting duties. We're looking forward to seeing people work as a crew to make the ship successful. The image of a bomber squadron coordinating attack on a large capital ship, complete with escort fighters, bomber interceptors, and spaceborne flak, has excited our imaginations. Original description. The Retaliator is the United Empire's premier, if aging, jump-capable heavy bomber. Massive formations of these spacecraft running long-range strike missions is not an uncommon sight around the fringes of the Empire. With the distinctive elongated silhouette that is dotted with turrets and carrying a massive bomb load, the Retaliator is an effective symbol of Imperial might. As such, they are a frequent centerpiece of Space Force recruiting posters. Retaliators are ground-based, with all but the largest carriers unable to operate them efficiently. heavily modified Retaliators are becoming commonplace on the civilian market, as such designs, Aegis and earlier production runs sold off en masse, outfitting to carry cargo instead of antimatter bombs, and with the waist turret positions typically being swapped for makeshift living quarters. They make good medium freighters or basic explorers. Some have been converted into long-hop passenger spacecraft. So that was during the design stage of this marvelous ship. So let's jump into the modules now when those are being worked on, and we'll go into detail about those. Greetings, citizens. Time to put the bombs away. Modular interiors are here. As you saw during the Gamescom presentation, the Aegis Dynamics Retaliator bomber is our test case for multi-crew ships in Arena Commander 2.0, but the Retaliator's job doesn't quite stop there. Along with the Cutlass, it will be the first ship to have a functioning modular interior. Today we're going to present the first 5 additional Retaliator modules and make them available for pledges for the next week. Existing Retaliators have 2 modular bays, which can be swapped out in your hangar. The versions available earlier in the campaign include 2 bomb bays for maximum combat punch. Now we're giving you more options to use your retired bombers in the verse. You can build your own cargo, troop ship, or personnel transport variants, or you can mix and match and build the perfect ship. Want 1 bomb bay and 1 living space, 1 cargo area and 1 dropship area? The choice is yours. Living space, front and rear. Your home away from home. The front and rear living quarters turn your Retaliator into a miniature hangar, complete with space to make your own. Standard equipment includes a retractable dining table, hollow screen, personal storage area, and a drink machine front, or a sink. Personal storage area, 2 couches, retractable table, and a hollow screen in the rear, but can be configured to your specifications. Cargo, front and rear. Replace your bomb bays with cargo. Each option, front and rear, includes the ability to add 20 standard cargo units of freight and an independent lift platform for maximum loading speed. The lift platforms lower to the ground for easy loading and can be raised/lowered from either the station on the platform or from the ship's interior. Dropship, front only. Get ready for amphibious assault. The Retaliator dropship module has seats for 12 troopers, complete with safety harnesses and 2 heavy weapon racks in the middle of the lift. The outer ring of the bay serves as an armory, including 2 grenade/ammunition cases, 4 rifle racks, 2 sidearm racks, and an energy recharge station for all standard power armor. Think Titan suits, guys. Torpedo bays, standard equipment for most UEE military Retaliators. The ship was designed to mount 2 torpedo bays. The forward bay carries 4 torpedoes, while the rear bay adds 2 more. Unladen. Want to build your own Retaliator from the ground up? Pick an empty hull today and choose your modules that you want. The cargo modules, living modules, torpedo bays, or the dropship module. The future. There are more Retaliator modules in the pipeline, as the mechanics behind various persistent universe roles begin to take their final form. We will be developing additional modules to support different jobs. These include cryo status pods for bounty hunters, medical equipment and recharging stations for Titan armor, salvage equipment, and more. Stay tuned, your ships are getting more versatile. Alright guys, let's dive head on now into the Q&A for the Retaliator's module, so we'll start right now. Greetings citizens, here is first Retaliator module concepts are here, and we know you've got questions about this new system. These questions were chosen from the Retaliator module Q&A thread from the forums. Enjoy. What happens to the old Retaliator? Does it stay as the solid block of torpedo-only ship, or will it be changed to modular base variant with torpedo bays? Existing Retaliator pilots do not need to purchase another ship. Your current Retaliator is now equivalent to the base. With 2 torpedo bays installed, you can only purchase separate modules this week to swap into your existing ship. Will the Retaliators have variants in addition to the modules, or does the modular systems replace the variants? This will depend on the ship. Some will continue to have variants, while some will have single base with a modular option. Think of how real-world aircraft might have the ability to be retrofitted to different roles, while others might have several different types manufactured depending on the mission. As a rule of thumb, military ships are more likely to have traditional variants than civilian ones. We do not currently plan additional Retaliator variants, although they're possible. It's likely the UEE has built several different hulls over the years. Similar to how there's the B-17D, the E, the F, and the G, and so on, with various improvements and changes. How will the Retaliator be without any modules installed, aka the unladen hull? Will it be just two holes in the hull? Retaliator without modules installed would have large portions of the interior as inaccessible. Will all ships have modules? If not, which ships will get modules? No, it will vary from ship to ship. Many will have individual components you can change, and only some will be specifically designed to swap cut modules. We can't give you the entire rundown today, but they will go ahead and announce that the Endeavor platform is designed around a similar system of modules that change based on the role. Will these modules fit in other ships or relative size in the future? Potentially, we imagine using them in a larger, interconnected system in the future. These will likely follow logical rules in the in-game universe. Aegis might build other ships to use the same modules, while Anvil ships would have made their own process in-game. For instance, a future medium bomber similar to the Retaliator might let you choose only one of the modules instead of two. How is insurance handled on per module basis? Will we always have to insure modules separate from the base vessel? The insurance on the modules and the base ship are separate. This is to intend to keep the original torpedo bomber version of the Retaliator unique. Having one is the only way to get LTI on the bomb-related modules. Does the installation of modules change the outside look of the hull based on the internal modules installed? This will vary from ship to ship. Modules will significantly alter the Endeavor, while to change the Retaliator will usually be negligible, so you can't see the changes on the outside of the Retaliator. It's kind of obvious. What situations can the dropship module be used in, or what was the idea of CIG when creating them? This will tie into the gameplay we intend to introduce with Star Marine. We envision a future where there will be a need to deliver Marines into hot landing zones or for boarding larger ships. Why are the front and aft modules with identical function not simply one module that can fit in both locations? As noted above, we see these modules as the first step to a larger system. Having two smaller modules in a single ship gives you much more customizability. Sure, you can build a pure cargo Retaliator or a pure living version, but you can also mix and match to perform multiple roles. As the number of ships that use modules increase, the number of options available goes up. This will allow for significantly more gameplay. Will we be able to begin installing these modules in our ship with Arena Commander 2.0? If not, when do you expect us to be able to do that roughly? Modules are likely to start coming online in-game after Arena Commander 2.0 launches. We do not have a specific date or patch announced yet. On modules in general, will modules for all the possible jobs, roles in Star Citizen be available for all ships? Or will it be decided that perhaps a Retaliator can't be used for mining, or a Cutlass can't be used for exploration? I've used arbitrary examples, of course. No, there will always be limitations. We don't see every ship as being able to fulfill every role, and especially we don't see the every hull as being effective for every task. We do have a mining module in development for the Retaliator, but because of the nature of the ship, it would be significantly less useful than the technology on a dedicated ship like the Orion. How will changing the modules work? Will there be a system in your hangar that does it automatically, or is this something you have to manually install with a crane? This will be done using a future version of a holotable, similar to how guns and shields and other components are changed. What are the benefits of a living space? Is it cosmetic as well as functional, such as being able to transport passengers, or mostly cosmetic? Living space will use a Retaliator as a personal transport and tie into the larger passenger system discussed during the Starliner rollout, but in addition to that, it is intended to speak towards personal customization, a place you can set up as your own, much like you will with your hangar. Will the modules be added to the rec store once they are Arena Commander ready? Yes, we appropriate. There likely won't be a good reason to have a non-combat Retaliator immediately, but that will change as we begin to prototype other systems. Will there be an option to reduce the need for crew for the tally, i.e. swapping the turrets with something else, but also keeping some punch? Yes, this is a type of customization we'd like to take place using the existing systems. You can remove turrets, guns, etc. without changing these modules. The current base model Retaliator comes with LTI, a hangar, a model, and the poster. Will the original Retaliators have these items retroactively added to them as well? Yes, we will grant the model and poster to all backers who purchase an empty Retaliator hull. Cargo modules, living quarters, torpedo bays, and a dropship module. Avenging Angels, the Retaliator through history, 2545 to 2945, Maheo Museum, Kavrik City, Angili, 2945-0301, with assistance provided by the UAE Navy, Imperial Historical Society, and Aegis Dynamics. Weapon of War, the symbol of a tyrant, a ship of trade. Since the introduction of the 26th century Aegis Dynamics Retaliator has had a distinguished, if conflicted, history, giving access to Aegis Dynamics archives as well as historical society records. The Maheo is proud to unravel its comprehensive chronicle of the Retaliator's various roles throughout history. From drawing board to battle zone, an in-depth look at creating a legend. Before a single design began, researchers performed extensive interviews with military pilots to understand what was lacking in the contemporary bombers of the time. Our collection of original design sketches are the highlight of this exhibit. The Rakan, nickname for the 20th century bomber, flies like a tug, got no give on both sides. Sure, it can carry bulk to cause a lot of hurt, but that doesn't matter if you get clipped before the drop. Lieutenant Commander Warden Feeler, CW-58 UPE Navy. From Retaliator Research Interview Archive. Built for use, intuitive and functional rather than aesthetic. Our journey begins in the brain of this aging warship. Aegis Astro engineers set out to make a long-range bomber with the pilot in mind. This pilot-centric approach drove the design decisions of what became the Retaliator, a heavy ordnance weapons platform capable of handling both fighters and ground targets. Battlefield versatility, adaptable and deadly ordnance delivery. The Retaliator emerged as a versatile heavy-hitting weapons platform. It delivers a devastating attacks against capital ships, planet-side targets, thanks to a revolutionary rotary launcher system. Nicknamed the Roto by early test crews, this launcher system allows its starmen to load torpedoes of varying payloads, and then let the bombarder rotate and fire the ordnance best suited for the situation. Personal defense, no job too small. While its heavy strike capabilities are well documented, the ship's ability to withstand assault are less well known. The Retaliator features 5-man turrets, giving an overlapping field of fire. This helps protect the ship from all directions of attack, and these turrets have allowed the Retaliator to push deeper beyond enemy lines with less fighter support. The tally comes home, advancing from the battlefield to the private sector. Although the Retaliator was almost synonymous with the reign of the Messers, and began to see decreased usage as the military distanced itself from that era, the ship began surprising resurgence in the private sector. One of Aegis' most ingenious designs was a removable ordnance bay, allows the entire section to come out for repairs. This feature saw Aegis designing replacement modules to fit in the pre-existing mounts to allow the Retaliator to fulfill a brand new array of civilian applications such as cargo hauling, prisoner transport, and even expanded captain/crew quarters. Retaliator 2945, the newest addition in our collection. Our Retaliator is our home, it is our protector, our shepherd through the black, and it is our fury. 59th Bomber Squadron Mantra 2720. I had never seen something as devastating or as beautiful as a fleet of tallies lighting up the Tevs. Captain Ivor Messer 2544-1116. Natural born Cap Killer, a heavy ordnance first strike platform. We need a ship to stalk and damage heavy prey. That was a design brief written by Aaron Tracy during the initial engineering meeting of what would soon become the Retaliator. The military needed a ship that could deploy faster than a capital ship, could access a wider variety of jump points, and that could still deliver payloads of near equal size and devastation. While a formidable foe on its own, a fleet of Retaliators has time and again proved to be more than a match for a larger class vessels. The versatile roto system allows a modern torpedo such as this to be used in any Retaliator, hero or villain. In a variety of potential weapons, this stood alone. The Retaliator and its brave pilots have been heralded throughout the Empire's history, but the ship has also found itself at the center of controversy. During the Mesa years, the Navy's decision to use cluster missiles against political activist group hiding in what is now a haven-sparked debate throughout the UEE. The cluster missiles, which when fired dispersed into a barrage of smaller payload deliveries, were considered an extreme measure to use against civilians, while the debate still goes on today over what is considered acceptable use of force. Cluster missiles continue to be a powerful tool in the Retaliator's arsenal. By the numbers: 5 twin turrets manned, each turret size 4, 2 times K&W CF-007 Bulldog repeater size 1s, underbody front bay, capacity 4 large munitions, default loadout, cluster missiles, underbody rear bay, capacity 2 large munitions, default loadout, cluster missiles. You can see where the retro thrusters and main thrusters and the twin turrets are mounted. Manufacturer Aegis Dynamics. Focus heavy bomber. Crew 6. Dry mass 188,000 kilograms. Max mass 225,000 kilograms. Cockpit pressurized. VTOL, yes. Jump drive, yes. Power plant 1 size 6. Cooling 2 size 2. Shield size 3. 6 fastenings. So this was the original Retaliator used by the UEE Navy so long ago. It also is 71 meters long, has twin turrets, underbody bay, front bay with 2 twin turrets. Front bomb bay may be replaced with modular cargo bay. VTOL thrusters, underbody rear bay. Main thrusters 2 tier 5, retro thrusters 2 tier 3, VTOL thrusters 6 tier 4, maneuvering thrusters 8 tier 2 dorsal ventral and 2 tier 2 lateral. An empire of war, the banner of service, defying the aggressor one bomb at a time. Retaliators are helping stop their Tavaran push, but they need brave pilots like you. Contact your local recruiter for details. After the Battle of Idris IV, Retaliators became common recruitment messages for the First Tavaran War. Images like this one were created to help maintain the monument of that landmark victory, cited by many historians as the turning point of the war. The Messer's Hammer, the ship that forged an empire. The Maheo Museum would like to thank everyone at Aegis Dynamics for their tireless effort in the retrieval of materials for this exhibit. Their dedication to introducing the public on the complete history of this iconic spacecraft in both the good and the bad is a true testament to their commitment to the spread of knowledge and to our Empire's heritage. Ariel Gita, Lead Exhibit Curator. Aegis Dynamics, 76 Falstaff Boulevard, Jetta 905610, Castius Divian. Aegis Dynamics brings hundreds of years of astroengineering experience and developing modern, dependable spacecraft for both the military and the civilian market. Aegis ships perform a variety of roles in a variety of theaters. Aegis is proud to continue and improve its iconic Retaliator model. Whether defending your system in an essential part of your local militia or hauling valuable cargo through the dangerous space, the Retaliator can be customized to suit your needs. Maheo Museum, founded in 2813. The Maheo Museum is a non-profit institution founded through a combination of generous public donations, imperial grants, and in-kind restoration and consulting services. The Maheo is dedicated to the preservation of humanity's history. Our illustrious founder, Amanda Yates, began our charter with the immortal words, "In order for a society to look towards the future with a clear heart, you must preserve all of your past, both the light and the dark." Maheo Museum, 6135 Alcuda Way, Kevrik City, and Geely Croshaw. Directions: Maheo is located in the heart of downtown Kevrik City. If you're coming from off-planet, nearest landing zone is in Angili City Center, then transfer to the plant-side transport. From Kevrik City Interplanetary Station, you may either need to take a hover taxi or monorail. Take the red line to Alcuda Way, walk 7 blocks towards the Cortes Memorial, and then the Maheo will be on your right. The only remaining original Retaliator, assembled in 2567 and no longer flyable, is serviced by the 58th Squadron Reenactment Cohort on the grounds of the Maheo. So let's jump in now to what they say on the store about the Retaliator bomber. The Aegis Dynamics Retaliator has landed! One of the United Empire of Earth's most powerful warbirds, the Retaliator was designed as a fearsome weapons platform designed to strike and kill capital ships, a key portion of the UEE's power projection. Retaliator squadrons have served with distinction against outlaws, the Vandul, and elsewhere. This version of the Retaliator includes the bomb bay and torpedo launcher. So a quick technical overview here. Radar, medium. Computers, 2 medium. Power plant, 2 medium. Coolers, 2 medium. Shield generators, 2 medium. Fuel intakes, 4 medium. Fuel tanks, 2 medium. Quantum drives are 1 medium. Jump modules, medium. Quantum fuel tank, medium. Thrusters, 6 VTOL, 2 retro, 2 main, 12 gimbaled thrusters. Weapons. Alright, so we got 5 size 2 turrets, each containing 2 weapons, and we also have 6 size 9 torpedoes. Right now it lists as having 2 racks of size 9, so we also know it has a special rack known as the Roto system. So it's a rotary torpedo launcher. Its focus is heavy bomber, length of 69.5 meters, beam of 42.5 meters, height is 12.5 meters, size is large, mass is 300,392 kilograms. Structural, so 0 cargo, SCM speed of 145 ms, afterburner speed of 814 ms, min crew of 4, maximum crew of 7, that's a fair few amount of people, pitch max of 20.0 degrees, yaw max of 20.0 degrees, roll max of 30.0 degrees, x-axis acceleration 22.9 ms, y-axis acceleration 33.4 ms, z-axis acceleration 18.9 ms. So guys, that's it for the information. The last bit of info is that the Retaliator is going to be getting a huge overhaul soon, a big rework from CIG. I'm looking forward to see which direction that is taken in. I'm hoping that is they keep the Retaliator true to what it is. It's a capital ship killer, and it's supposed to be this bomber from a long time ago, and has a really rich history already in the lore. I just hope they don't mess with it too much. Otherwise it might not seem feasible as option of a bomber as it is now. But yeah, its modularity means this thing has got a long life in your fleet. If you want to buy one of these ships now, I'd highly recommend it to you, whether you are a solo Star Citizen player or a group, more of a group guy, you're in an organization or you have a group of friends you like to play with, and you'd like to putter around the verse, definitely pick up one of these. It can double as a home away from home and a trade ship that has enough turrets on it to defend it and basically make it a deterrent to 9 out of 10 pirates. But yeah, what would I rate this ship on the Demo Man scale? Well, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 for a multitude of reasons. 1, it has escape pods, enough of which for the crew. 2, it has very thick armor. 3, it's relatively quick and maneuverable for a ship of its size. 4, it has serious firepower in forms of turrets and stuff. And 5 is very modular. Very modular. You can swap out all sorts of things. I mean, the roles this thing they plan for it to fulfill seems almost endless. So this ship is definitely guaranteed to get you where you want to go, whether it be in the heart of a combat zone to drop a capital ship to its knees, or to simply take some trade through Banu space on the edge of Vandul space and back to UEE space. This ship can do it all. I'd highly recommend it to you. It's a fantastic vessel. I regret melting mine down. I will pick one up either in the verse or in the future. It solely depends on if I can get the money for it beforehand, or if I have to just grind it out in the game. I love the Retaliator. It is awesome. If you have a Retaliator, then I salute you. Good choice and great taste. Really, really cool ship. So yeah, highly recommend you guys pick this one up. Really spectacular ship. Can't recommend it enough. Totally non-biased. Yeah. So you know the drill, commanders. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse. Also, on a side note, quickly before I wrap up here, if you're looking to join an organization, I run an organization called the Death Corp Strike Unit. We are a anti-piracy organization with a heavy industrial focus. We have traders, explorers, salvage, mining, you name it, and all of the list, and all the combat roles as well. Infantry, bombers, dedicated combat pilots, capital ships, you name it, we've got it all. So if you'd like to join an organization where you can really be part of a family environment and work together as a team, then check out the link in the description of this video below. So yeah, thank you guys yet again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.